Cheers. Alright. So this idea that I've been thinking about recently, I don't have everything figured out. It's just an idea still. But I think I'm very excited to share it with you. I've been talking about it with my friends and all that. And I think it's like cracking the code low key. Like I've been telling my friends, like, oh, I cracked the code. I cracked the code. What is this video about? It's about liking yourself. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, like my friend too, my closest friend, we share a lot of things in common, and we used to call each other all the time. Like whenever we were feeling down, or when we felt like we were in a slump and all that, we'd call each other and basically like rant and try to feel better, like get back on track. Like that's one thing I appreciate about my friend. Also, like we've always wanted to do our best, and that was hard. I mean, that's hard, especially when you're younger. It's hard to, you're just like changing a lot. Everything around you is changing, and change is tough. Like, if you don't understand the nature of change, if you don't understand the nature of pain, it's tough. So, me, I wasn't really satisfied with who I was. I wasn't happy with who I was. And I knew something had to change, especially my physique. Like when I was starting this, started working on myself, that was the first thing I worked on. It was my body. I wanted to look good, I wanted to look good. It was for vanity when I started, but now I'm training harder than ever right now, because I understand that you require pain to grow, and pain is only there to assist you with your growth. You can't be happy and content and improve. I don't think let me rephrase that. You can be content and improve, but that's very slow. And this video is gonna be all over the place because I haven't thought about it properly. It's just like bear with me, because I think it's very important, and it can help you a lot if you just like register the points. So there's like this voice inside of you, right? I usually label that as the kid version of me. The kid version of me, and that kid version of you wants to have fun, wants to eat chocolate because it's sweet and nice. It makes you feel good in the moment. And then there is you, like the thinking, the logical version of you that wants to improve, that wants to achieve great things in life. And that kid seems to always get in the way. And if you try to understand it, it looks like that kid is afraid of change, afraid that it'll be scary, which is, when you really think about it, if a kid is scared of change, you don't scold the kid. If the kid is, if there's a kid in your life, like a little brother or a nephew and all that, if that kid is afraid of change or afraid to try something new, afraid of failure, you don't scold the kid. You don't scold the kid. You try to explain things. You try to explain things to a kid by breaking things down. Like, if you want to get good at something, you have to try. You have to try it, you have to fail, try again, fail. With each failure, you get better and better and better. Like you explain it to the kid. But then when you're moving towards a goal, when you're moving towards something, trying to achieve something, and that kid in you, or like the emotional mind, that's what Mark Manson calls it. I like to see it as the kid in me, because it just makes it easier to communicate. Your emotional mind's scared of change. It's scared of doing hard things. It wants to keep you safe. So you have to understand that. And if you're scolding yourself every time you do that, no wonder you don't like being by yourself. See, this is my personal experience. When I was growing up, I never liked being by myself. I always needed friends, like people around me to feel good. And if I'm being very honest, like me going for girls, that was one of the biggest reasons because I didn't like myself. And I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be liked. Who doesn't want to be liked, right? So I would I would go after girls and they would like me, right? That's why I went after girls because that was comfortable. Like being liked feels nice. And when you don't like yourself and you want to be liked, you put yourself in situations where you're going to be liked. Like you're not going to give yourself time or spend alone time to think things through, think about your goals and all that because you don't like yourself. Why don't you like yourself? Because you talk to yourself and you treat yourself like you're some piece of shit. Think about it. The way that you talk to yourself, every time, let's say you tried something new out, right? You've gathered enough courage to do something new, and let's say you failed or you didn't get the results that you were expecting. What do you say to yourself? If you're like, oh, you're a bitch, you're stupid, like I knew this was gonna happen, I knew this was gonna happen, like you're good for nothing and all that. Imagine someone else talking to you like that. I swear, if someone was talking to you like that, if someone was talking to you like that, you're gonna label that person as, that person, I have to go. I can never spend alone time with that person. I don't like that person. And you wonder why you don't like yourself. Like this is all very new to me too. I've been thinking about it. Cause even like the discipline part of things, like these days, like it's so cool to say, oh, I don't even like doing what I do. I'm just disciplined. I used to be like that. That's the thing. I've been thinking about it. Like I was like, you know what? Like all this discipline stuff is cool. Like it definitely gets you the results that you want. I built this physique based on discipline. Like I didn't want to show up. I showed up. I beat myself up. You know, I was fighting with myself. And I was like, what if there's like a different way, different way to achieve what you want? Because when you're like beating yourself up, you're number one, you're fighting with yourself. Number two, you're fighting with the world or the task in front of you, which it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Not even sometimes, it doesn't make sense. You can get the results that you want, sure. But are you gonna like yourself? Like, are you gonna enjoy the process? Because let me tell you, if you enjoy the process of getting to a goal, it's gonna be number one, more enjoyable. Number two, you're gonna want to do it again and again and again and again. Like imagine, think about the times where you didn't have to fight yourself to do something. For me, it was sports, right? Basketball, soccer, and all that. Soccer, football, basketball, and football. Inside of me, the kid inside of me wanted to play football. I wanted to play football. That's when I improved the most because I was enjoying it, number one. Number two, I wasn't fighting myself while doing that. I was just playing. That's when I was improving the most. Like, if I really think about it, even the gym stuff, of course, I'm not saying discipline doesn't have its place. Discipline has its place. But this is the thing, you really only gotta stay disciplined until you see the first progress of what you're aiming for. Let's say the gym. You just show up, you make it a habit, or you build a discipline to show up every day. Or let's say 4 or 5 days a week when you're going to the gym and eating right and all that. You show up, you make it a habit to show up until you see the first few like signs of results and progress. After that, you're like, oh shit, like this is getting me what I want. So I want to do more of it. When you want to do more of it, that's not discipline anymore. You're enjoying the process. You're enjoying the process, and when you're enjoying something, it just becomes more enjoyable and fun. Like, let's look at the reason, okay? Let's look at the reason why you might not be doing the work. Because that's the most important thing. Like, you can do a morning routine, you can do all those fancy shit, you can have all these fancy shit, but the most important thing is getting the work done. Like, for me, it's making YouTube videos and going to the gym, staying in shape and all that. For you, if you're starting out with your goal being, I want to get in the best possible shape I can, going to the gym, getting a clean diet, that's your goal. I mean, that's the work. Doesn't matter how you get to it. You can either get to it through discipline or you can make it fun. You get me? And how can you make it more fun, or how can you get everything that's in you, like the voice in you, on your side? That's treating yourself like a human being. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple that you want to complicate it because you're like, nah, that can't be the answer. That there's no way that's the answer. But really think about it. How much would you do for a person that you like? Like, when people say, I people please and all that, that's basically them getting other people to like you. And when you want to do that, you go a great extent to like impress the other person and all that. Imagine if you like yourself. If you like yourself and the voice inside of you is on your side. Doesn't that make things easier? Let's say you're going to the gym and the voice inside of you is like, I can't be effed today. Like, I really don't want to go. If a friend said that to you, how would you talk to that friend? Right? How would you talk to that friend? You'll probably say, okay, you don't want to go to the gym, but don't forget your goals. Don't forget your goals of getting in shape. And don't forget that this is the work that needs to get done. Suddenly, that's the same. It like is the content of what you just said and saying. So saying, okay, you don't want to go to the gym, but you got goals that you want, and this is the work that needs to get done for you to get to that goal. Versus saying, you're a bitch. Like, why are you being a bitch? Just go to the gym. Stop being a little bitch. These two things basically are saying the same thing. They have the same message. It's saying you have to get the work done. But there are ways to say it. So okay, I don't know if you've understood my hypothesis. But I'm just saying, if you like yourself better, if you like yourself more, then you'll be willing to put in more work for you. How do you like yourself? You treat yourself like a person. You treat yourself how other people want, how you want other people to treat you. Now, Jordan Peterson has a book, 12 Rules for Life, has a chapter saying talking about this. So I will probably I'll definitely make a video about the same topic after I've done some more research. This is basically like, it's been on my mind for the past like 3-4 days, and I've been talking to people about it. And when I explained it to them, they were like, "That makes sense. That makes so much sense." Because let me now bring a comparison to anime, because I watch anime, right? I love anime. Oh, now I'm a beta. He watches anime. But yeah, Naruto or Black Clover, all these, the animes I've watched, the protagonist usually has something in them. There's like a dark force. That can be the voice in you, right? If you can get to the point where you befriended that voice and you got that voice on your side, just like Naruto becomes the strongest when he befriends Kurama. Right? Naruto wants, like, along the as the anime is going, Naruto wants to get strong, wants to get accepted by people and all that, wants to protect the village, wants to protect his friends. Kurama wants the opposite. He wants to destroy everything. It's like this force, like this negative force. But Naruto becomes the strongest when he befriends Kurama. Now there's Naruto who wants to do good, improve, get better, and now he has this force, this power that's on his side. Like, do you understand it? Do you understand how easy it would be? Like how fun it would be. Let's say you want to do. I'm not see this everything here. I'm not saying don't work hard or like be in your feelings, listen to your feelings. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying talk to yourself better, explain things to yourself better, so you can get everything inside of you focused on one thing. I did get that. I'm not saying don't work hard, but get everything inside of you aligned with that. And how do you get that person aligned, the person or the thing aligned in you? You treat it better. Like, I'm repeating myself, but like this video doesn't have to be long, but I'm just trying to make it easier for you to understand it. Really think about it. Just sit with this idea. If I like myself more, then I'll probably do more better things for me. So how do I get myself to like myself? If now let's talk about you and another person. You and another person. This person has been talking to you in a very degrading way. This person can be a parent, a friend, or anything you want. Like, just put it in your situation. Someone who has a close relationship with you, but your relationship has never been good. This person has the way he talks to you, you just don't fuck with it. You don't like how they talk to you. You're like, okay, your message is good. Your message is good. I understand that it's true love, but it can be said in a different tone. That's how you think about the way that somebody talks to you. Now let's bring it to you. You've been just like, I know this all like sounds a bit psycho and all that, but like divide yourself into two parts. Your feeling mind and your emotional mind and your logical mind. As much as you want to think that you're 100% logical and all that, you're a human being. You're subject to emotions. That's why you feel sometimes when you're working towards something, or that's why you go for the easier task because it's easy. Like your emotional mind doesn't understand the need for hard things and all that. It just wants to keep you safe. You understand that it just wants to keep you safe. So how would you expect that person, if that person who's been talking to you very rudely, who hasn't been treating you well, who's been scolding you all the time, how would you expect that person to mend the relationship with you? You would want effort from that person. You'd want effort from that person, and you'd want them to, you'd want them to put an effort to fix things with you. So how do you do that in real life? This is your action step. This is your action step. Be very aware of how you're talking to yourself, how you're treating yourself, how you're motivating, and how you're trying to inspire yourself. And do it as if you're trying to inspire your little brother or your nephew. Talk to yourself like you're talking to a kid. And that kid's gonna grow sometime. At some point, you're gonna mend the relationships with the voices inside of you. Everything's going to be aligned towards one thing. Imagine how much stronger you're going to be if you're like, I bet now I got to change and do this, and then your mind's just like, all right, let's do it. Let's go. Let's push this. If you're in the gym, you're like, I got to push this weight, 8 reps, 3 sets, heavy ass weights. And your mind's just like, I bet, let's push it. Like, do you understand how powerful that would be? Like, if I figured this out when I was a bit younger, if only I figured this out when I was a bit younger. But that's why I'm making content. Like, if you're young, like just listen to me and try to apply it to your situation. Like treat yourself like a person. Treat yourself like you wanna, like you're someone you care for. And then slowly, I'm not saying it's gonna immediately, would, if you had a bad relationship with someone and they're trying to fix it with you, would saying sorry once or like speaking to you properly once fix everything? No, it's not. You got to see consistent effort from them, showing that they're correcting how they've been treating you. So get aware of how you're talking to yourself. Every time you're mean to yourself or you're scolding yourself, pause. Rephrase that, rephrase the tonality, you know? Rephrase the tonality and watch the magic work. I'm not joking. I actually feel like I've cracked a code for myself because I've struggled with that a lot. I've always been mean to myself. No wonder I didn't like myself. No wonder I was seeking validation from people. Why? Because I didn't even like myself. Like my little cousin brother, he texted me once and he said, "Oh, my mind's just so rude to me. Like my mind, I don't like being with myself because my mind is so crazy. Like this is the answer. Because awareness in itself is transformative. That's one thing I've heard from a guy, YouTuber, self-developed, David Hammond, I think. He used to say awareness in itself is transformative. So change that. Change how you talk to yourself. I will do more research and try to make it more like structured and comprehensive. I just don't like how, like, I don't like writing a script and all that. It just feels so robotic. Reading things from the screen. I rather understand things and like talk in the moment as if I'm talking to you, like as if I'm in a real conversation. Like this is a real conversation. So how do you think about, how do you feel about this information? What do you think about this information? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. DM me on Instagram. How, like, do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Why? How can this idea be like made better? What else works for you? Comment. Okay. Ciao, ciao. See you.